Yaesu 897. It's a cool little radio. I got a friend. This friend uses this for POTA operations and such. These radios, there's like every radio, they all have some quirk. This particular radio is known for problems with the processor interface to the memory. Chip's got serial memory here that contains all the parameters of the radio. Once you get it dialed in, even dial light brightness, frequency of operation, bandwidth, I mean everything. Right there is the brains. Problem is, where this processor is soldered to the board here all the way around, but these pins here interface with the memory chip. On boot up, it calls out to the memory, reads the memory, sets all the radio settings, and off you go. These things have a problem with essentially a poor solder connection to the board. And so I've worked on this once before, and I took a small handheld soldering iron, and it was kind of like this one, and I sanded it down on the tip until it had a point like a needle. So I can see it. See that tip on that thing? Anyway, and so I manually had to go in there and literally touch up every pin on this processor and the memory. And I was skeptical about that because you couldn't there's a lot of things you couldn't do correctly. So I got this little hot air gun. It's a pretty cool little deal, very inexpensive. I've got it calibrated to run about 450C now. Most people flow at 250C, but there's a lot of error. See, it's ramping up pretty quick. There, it's about to be on 425, I'm sorry. Anyway, I experimented on a scrap board to determine the correct temperature and airflow so it wouldn't blow the parts off the board. This is an old junk board I had laying around. So I got it to where I could reflow these chips and actually push parts around on the board after 20 seconds. So experimented with the flux flow rate, got all that working, then pulled out this radio, used a little flux on an artist brush around the pins, heated the chip in general, both chips in general, to bring the temperature up. Used my little Harbor Freight IR gun. Thank you, WG. I used that to bring the tip of the chip up to about 200. Then I took the hot air gun, went around the pins back and forth like this to bring the temperature up, and then focused on, I'm about a 1/4 inch off the board. I focused on working my way around the board till I could see the solder flash, and then let it cool. And bing, bang, boom, there she goes, ready to roll. So, it's a common problem. I've been needing to use one of these things anyway. Radios more and more so, or surface mount now, and you can see based on the tip of my finger, and there's little grains of salt right there. Look, that's a resistor. Some of them are jumpers, some of them are capacitors, depends on the part. But they are tiny. Look at my finger compared to that. So anyway, there we go. That's how they cram so much in a small box.